you mentioned, I know, video, video, like the video, videograph.
Yeah, so I kind of gave it. I kind of named them. The only one that I think should be the official name is the crate digging one. But let me go to the article itself. So what I have here, you got crate digging, street games, and guerrilla filming and production art.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll start with guerrilla filming and production art. Well,
Y'all can hear
first,
me, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
I hear you.
All right. Okay, so the purpose of the article, just to be clear, is just a consideration of three more elements that are already activities that are big in the culture. Because as the culture evolves beyond 50 years, the original generation of hip hop heads, which is our generation, we're going to be advancing in age, and more people are going to be coming into the culture, more or less. And they may not be into rhyming or graffiti art or DJ, and they may be into some of these other activities. And I already see them manifesting in a variety of places. So, for example, guerrilla filming. That's just like the independent filming of movies and series and skits. Dave Chappelle, people like Ace Vane, and what's the name of the brother that did Money and Violence?
Mo Vernus.
Mo Vern. Okay, my man did Money and Violence, a dope series with his cell phone. Okay, so that's guerrilla filming, which is pretty much, you could say, got his inspiration from the blaxploitation era. Gordon Parks Jr., of course, Melvin Van Peebles, and then Mario Van Peebles later, his son. Of course, Spike Lee, John Singleton, Hughes Brothers. These were hip hop heads. So then he also got people that do plays, like what's his name? Danny Hatch and others. So, and that's just grassroots, film and production. Another one is the game. So I struggled with this one. Street games or urban competitive games is what I originally called it. And that's the athletic and the, like A&B, we were talking one day about 21, the basketball game 21, aka New York.
Yep.
And we called it 21 in Boston.
Yep.
Okay. Classic pastime game. Double Dutch is a famous one. Some people put Double Dutch under breaking. But Double Dutch actually became a kind of a sport that started in the hoods of America. Then you got the bartenders and the bar stars, those dudes who can work out in the parks on the monkey gyms doing chin-ups and push-ups. I think Styles P and Jada got involved with that a little bit. In fact, Dead Prez had a song called
50 in the clip.
Yep, 50 in the clip, rolling dice with push-ups. Just playing craps instead of using money, push-ups. In fact, me and my brothers did that. We'll go to cookouts. We got bored. Man, let's do some dice and do some push-ups. Okay, so then you got the video gaming. Okay, which goes with that. Okay, and that's a big time pastime. In fact, the Source magazine, I can't find the magazine. They said in the Source, they said video games is a lost element of hip hop. It just kind of fell off as an element. But now, since Wu-Tang announced it, it's kind of coming back as an official element. Okay, so that goes with, street games or urban competitive gaming. Now, then there's crate digging. This is an interesting one Because crate digging started off, well, it's popularized by DJs. But it really didn't start with the DJs. It started with music fans. You like music? You go to the store, you dig for some nice music. You're looking for some stuff to listen to. And it went from records to tapes to CDs. Now people download it and upload it. But crate digging is really about just finding that perfect gem or that thing that fits you. People crate dig for sneakers. People crate dig for action figures. People crate dig for magazines, books, comic books, movies.
Yeah, but those other things are they're not displayed in crates.
They don't have to be. That's a concept.
Yeah. Now you see why I always go with the four, like with the core elements, because I feel like each element represents a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm looking at graffiti arts being a representation for everything: film, video game, anything that's graph design, anything that's picture, anything that's
animation. Yeah.
Well, when we motion picture, basically, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
everything that's animation. That would make sense.
The visual sense of everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's graffiti covering everything, even for the b-boy and the MC. The outfit that's covered by graffiti art because there's a design, the visual design, how you present it, the video you shoot your video, how even in the show, how you set up your stage and all that. I credit that to a graffiti art because that's the visual art.
I mean, when you say the outfit, that's more street fashion than graffiti.
Yeah, but the thing is, fashion, we can say street fashion started before hip hop. It's always been street fashion.
But yeah, but everything started before hip hop. So like when you talk about everything started before hip hop. So all we're doing is taking pieces of things that already existed. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying street fashion, like graffiti, DJing, all these things existed. So, but I wouldn't put, just me personally, you know what I mean? Because to me, there's no right or wrong answer in a sense, but to me personally, I wouldn't put clothes and street fashion in that. I think that's its own thing within the street culture that we love anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why you put it there because it's visual. You know what I'm saying? But the graffiti to me told a message on the walls. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that. You could tie that back into ancient shit. Like African people are known to put things on the walls. They put our story on the walls. You know what I'm saying? Even from way back. So that's kind of a little bit different than like the fact that I wear a lot of Nike clothes or Adidas clothes, or you know what I'm saying, or I go and wear some Carl Kanais. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a totally different. That it's visual, but it's also like this is my style in the culture.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Fashion does tell a story in art when it comes to hip hop.
Yeah.
It's more like we got certain items that if you talk Chuck Taylors, we see the West Coast, we see LA. You talk Adidas, we see Boston. We see Tim's, we say East Coast. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things that just tells a story. So basically, there was a time in the 90s we was more militant, soldier-like, hip hoppers. So guess what? We wore army fatigues and boots. We looked like we were troopers.
Mm-hmm.
We were street soldiers. Whether you a hustler, whether you an activist, it was street soldiering. So we wore the Sherlin, which is like the Air Force pilot shit. We wore the army fatigues. You know what I mean? We trooping, whether people wore biking clothes. So everything basically dressed tough because you in action. You know what I'm saying? Or you in sports. So that's why the sneakers. You know what I mean? So Your outfit is telling the story, who you are. We look at the jewelries. You know, if I start throwing on platinum and diamonds, you got diamonds on my watch and all that, that gives me another story. I'm a baller now. Throw on my African medallions and all this. Oh, now I'm representing Black culture. So fashion tells a story. Like whatever, however you start rocking your clothes, kind of represents for what you actually are. Somebody will look at you, be like, "Damn, do you rap?" Just by looking at you, you know, because they see that, you know, your clothes is making a statement. So yeah, just like graffiti tells a story, fashion does too, big time.
Yeah.
And universal. It can go to other countries the same way.
Yeah.
And the United States, as far as black culture, as far as youth culture everywhere, the United States, it's like the spearhead of everywhere. Because I seen like the thing, like everything I seen overseas, I can trace its roots over here. It might not be something big. People might just look at it and be like a fad and it comes and goes. Then some other countries pick up on it and run with it and make it big.
Yeah.
You know?
Pardon.
What was that?
Oh, I said pardon. I stepped away. I'm not sure if y'all seen the text. So
I've seen it.
let me just say something. Two things.
Right.
Comic books and books you do find in crates, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point on fashion,
Mm-hmm.
let's take Pharaoh on top, A&B's brand.
Mm-hmm.
That image on there could be identified as graffiti because it's an illustration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my logo behind me could be considered graffiti. Shout out to Grand Architect. You know, especially if I put that on a shirt. But the fashion itself is something totally different. Okay, graffiti art, like, so for example, I got a concept called graph artimation, where you put graffiti, art, and animation together. Boondocks is graffiti. Samurai Shampoo is graffiti. Okay, Maxed Up Rapping Robots graffiti. Okay, they're specifically hip hop created. There's another anime called Gachiakuta, which is created based off of graffiti from Japan. You know, so we got punk rock and hip hop, like literally the creator, a Japanese woman who's hip hop and punk rock, put this anime together. So that will fall under the graffiti element because it's drawing.
Oh yeah.
And it's using colors. Like the Gospel of Hip Hop, shout out to the Temple of Hip Hop, they always explain graffiti with the use of colors and how the colors provide a vibe. Just like A&B's comic book that's behind them. That's a vibe with the purple. It's providing a vibe. In graffiti, when you look at a graffiti burner or piece, it's the colors that kind of make you say, wow, that joint's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's just a tag. When you're just like, oh, that's so-and-so.
That's why I look at, that's why those are elements, core elements, because it doesn't mean necessarily it's graffiti, but there is an element, a graffiti element that's in a lot of those things that I'm talking about. Like when I say fashion, there is, you know, when we talk about, we had cross colors at some point, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, if somebody, the person, the graffiti artist, he actually can develop himself to a fashion designer. You know what I'm saying? He can develop himself to a space to a space decorator, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows how to mix the colors and the picture, the image. You know how to put that together. And yes, just like the graffiti artist probably gonna make the best anime or cartoon, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's his lane. So if you want to get into the people, you see, like a lot of movies, they actually got the sketch, which are drawings, but they will act in real life, like real people. People be like real people, real camera, but you can see those scenes and sketches as well. The sketches gonna be like this. All right, let's play. Then they get real people. So there's a graffiti, like when we talk about hip hop, that's why you see anything that's hip hop will look hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like if we talk about we shooting a hip hop video, just the looks of it, it just looks hip hop. Like, oh shit, this is one eye shit. There's a way to do it. There's an attitude to it. There was a b-boy element to the person that's holding the camera. He's not just holding the camera. He's out here waving the angles, going in and zooming out and all that. That's hip hop style. So you can shoot a movie. There's a movie that look hip hop. Like especially, my favorite. Look at New Jersey Drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's like a classic. That's like a classic hip hop style guerrilla type shot movie.
Yeah, that was my era. Because we dressed like that. That was really us. Like 94, 95. That was us. New Jersey Drive, that's like the peers. Like, this is what we look like. Like, I tell a lot of my nephews, like, if you want to see, like, my era, me growing up, any movie out there, yeah, we got Men of Society, we got Juice. Look at New Jersey Drive. That's exactly us. That's what we look like right there. And you see how they would shoot like a camera like that. This style, they're just shooting like, they're not people walking. They just start with the boots, the Timbs, and catch the rest of the, you know what I mean? It makes the statement like, oh, they catch the feet first. That's a lot of videos were shot with certain angles that just like, oh, this speaks for us. So, hip hop is an artistic culture, you know what I'm saying? So we apply art on everything we do.
Well, it's art, it's activity, and we gotta remember the key word is it's also fun and it's healthy. And very therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But what I'm saying about artistic culture, because you apply art on everything, even activities, even when you're doing business, street entrepreneur, you apply art to everything that's hip hop. You just don't wear clothes in hip hop. You got to be artistic about it. You just don't do speeches in hip hop. It has to be artistic how you bring. You just don't walk in hip hop. You just don't fight in hip hop. You have to have a style to the way you whoop somebody ass. I'm not gonna be out there looking goofy. I gotta look with style. You know what I'm saying? But my move was just like, yo, it's like, what's up? That's hip hop. You put art on everything you do. Even when you're driving, you just don't drive in hip hop. You drive in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Throw your wristwatch and the right off because you're about to get your drive on. That's hip hop. Everything gotta be artistic. Everything gotta be fly. If you're gonna be a hip hop teacher in the classroom, yes, same thing. You can't just be out there. Okay, nah. You gotta have a little sauce with it. That's hip hop. Everything you do. Unfortunately, when we do the wrong shit, we still look good in it. We put the art to the wrong activity. And guess what? That's where every kids want to follow. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Then there goes the name. Oh, hip hop is promoting this and that and the third. But the truth is, everybody doing the same thing. We just look good at what we do. So when we do the wrong thing, people try to find out how can we do the same? Because it looks good when it's not good. Bottom line, we just artistic with everything we do, good or bad. That's the problem.
You look at if you look at, we're talking about how an artist sees the environment. That's like the key of expression. That's the key, how the artist sees the environment and how the environment influenced this artist, whether it was writing a rhyme, doing a graffiti piece, even dance moves. Even dance moves are expressions. This is expressions of the communities we live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, even people with graph or with rhyming or whatever, this is what makes it. This is what makes it beautiful. This is what makes it what it is. This expression. That's what makes this expression beautiful, because it's like we rhyme it. We rhyme how we see it. We rhyme how we write how we see it. All that stuff, poetry. Everything. And I think this is what happens when you bring an experience to people, because people look at art for an experience, especially rhyming. Everybody tells me, like, when I look at you, Saudi, I'm not just saying this because you my brother. You too, AMB. I'm not just saying this because we're cool, we're boys. But when I look at y'all perform, I like how you bring the crowd into your world. That right there is a great artist. That right there is a superb artist. That's what a lot of the greats do. When you hear Nas rhyme about Queensbridge, he brings you there. When you heard Ghetto Boys talk about the Fifth Ward, they brought you there. Like you could see it. Straight out of Compton, all that stuff, like you could see it.
Our,
Whenever you
our favorite is Most Def bringing you to Brooklyn.
What all that, and so on and so forth. Like Outcast, boy, Outcast. You pictured, and then when I finally went to Atlanta, it was for Freaknik. But I like when I saw Atlanta, I was always thinking about like Outcast. I was like on them same streets they were talking. I was rolling them same streets they were talking about when I was in the A.
Mm-hmm.
Even with all the whatever. But because because like I got a chance to city, but got a chance. I remember like going to going there and seeing the city, riding the train when they used to talk about the MARTA and all that stuff. So I'm riding the train, which is the MARTA down there. I'm riding the train. We taking the bus. We're looking at Bankhead. We're looking at all those spots that Outkast and them was talking about. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Ed OG did it with A Kid in the Ghetto and all that, which was dope. Which is dope. Now, when we get into graffiti pieces, even spoken word pieces, where like Saudi, you take people there. A and B, you take people there. You take people there. That's what makes a great artist. This is what makes hip hop the expression, is because wherever you from, you ain't if we from Boston, let them know what Boston is. Take them into the inner, and take them into Boston. Take them into Black Boston, which I call the undertow of Boston, the Mattapan, the Roxbury's, the South End, the JP. Take them there. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so used to, they're so used. They're just, everybody is like, the whole thing is New Kids, Mark Wahlberg, whatever, whatever, whatever. Red Sox. You know what I'm saying? they don't know about they people we don't they don't want to hear, they try not to hear the stories of of Roxbury. They try not to hear those stories of the other side of Dorchester, Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, you know? And so I remember you remember this movie called Squeeze?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You remember the movie Squeeze?
of course.
Squeeze is one of the Squeeze I think is kind of like better. I like Squeeze better than Blue Hill Ave because Blue Hill Ave wasn't really shot in Boston. There's stills of Boston. It wasn't shot in Boston entirely.
Where was that shot?
Canada.
Wow.
Because they didn't want they because like they because they charged the dude, the producers. It was a small budget. It was really an art house film. It was really like a low budget film. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying like it wasn't put out by a major studio. You know, the producers of it was trying to, you know, shoot Boston, and they it cost here to shoot. So I guess shooting in Boston took money, and they didn't have the money to shoot in Boston. So that wasn't just, you could argue maybe it was a little, maybe there was racism, this, that, and the third, maybe because it was a black film, da 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 da. But they didn't have the budget to shoot in Boston. That's from what I understand. Maybe somebody else knows better. But it was shot in Canada. My boy Dana was in it. You know, Dana, shout to Dana. But he was in the film, you know. I don't know, and you know Pooch Hall from the game? The guy Pooch Hall, he played Darius in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That show the game. I think he's from Brockton. I think he's from Brockton.
Pooch Hall.
Yeah, Pooch Hall.
He is from I don't know if he's from Brockton, but I know he's from Mass.
Because Kente went to my cousin went to school with him. Went to UMass Dartmouth with him. You know, he went to Dartmouth with my cousin with Kente. So he knows him well. He knows him pretty well. They're cool. So, and I think those are the only Massachusetts residents that was maybe in the film, maybe. But point is, what I'm trying to say is, when you think of authenticity, because that's the big thing about with hip hop. That's what we really like. Like it's real. You know, we don't just use that in the sense of, you know, we cussing, we busting slugs, ah. No, that doesn't exactly mean you real. That's just what it is. But it's like you don't have to. An artist doesn't have to be locked up or have all the street cred to such and such be quote unquote real. they just have to. They just have to like know how to like bring you into their world. You know, they just should bring you into their world. That's it. That's really what makes them authenticity. Where you can see Roxbury, you can see all these hoods in Boston. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it dope. That's what makes hip hop beautiful. Because the graffiti art, the dance moves, everything brings you to the Bronx, brings you to Brooklyn, Harlem, whatever. And so that is the most important thing about hip hop culture that stands out to me, saying, and stands out to a lot of people, I'm sure. This is the great writers, the great rappers, the great DJs, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I say that to say just, make sure you stay authentic to you. If because when I see these brothers, man, when I see a lot of artists, when I see y'all, I'm not just saying this because we're all friends, but this is we do this beautiful thing where we're just trying to just make sure we give you an experience. That's very important.
That's actually the whole purpose of staying authentic is the essence of the whole culture. Because the purpose of hip hop, one of the highest purpose of hip hop is finding higher self. So the thing is, in your journey in hip hop, you got to do knowledge yourself. While doing knowledge yourself, you get to know and understand yourself in different aspects. And guess what? There is a lot of aspect that's unique to you. You know what I mean? That's kind of exclusive to you only. So guess what you do? You focus on that. You study that. You develop that. You work on that. So yes. And when you're doing it, honestly, you know what I mean? What's going to happen? You know, you gotta represent yourself at the best and highest quality ever. And those are the new things that's you put out there that people gonna gravitate towards. Like, yo, that's different. That's dope. And you just gotta keep going. And every now and then, there is a wave out there. Everybody gonna try to do this. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a wave we all feel the same way. And which is all good. If you feel like, if me and you feel like, you know what I mean, we feel the same way about something, all right, let's rock out. We ain't even got to, see, a lot of people get the wrong message, like you're supposed to tuck that in, like, okay, because, oh, we look like we're doing the same thing. You forcefully try to do different. Nah, just do you. The difference going to show. And the light's going to show as well. Just do you. Be honest about it. Don't let anybody sway you into like, oh no, you don't do that. You got to do this now. Do what you like. What you really is calling for. What you really feel. And I might feel like the next man and do the same thing he's doing. I might feel different from that person over there and do something totally different.
Ladies and gentlemen, this course is.
And that's the whole thing about having a wave. They got certain things they feel in common. In fashion, we all felt like, yo, the Buddy Tims, that's what it is. Top 10 Adidas, that's where it's at.
I don't think that was all being unique. Some of that was just fanboy following.
Oh,
One
yeah?
person did it, so they had to emulate the next person. As opposed to, and eventually, to your point of being your highest self, to eventually they'll find that look. They'll find that style. Yeah. I mean, we all start off trying to look like our favorite superhero on TV.
Yeah, we usually start off inspired by people around you. Then it starts to become inspired by somebody a little more further, a little more higher.
And then we'll copy them and lose ourselves. That happens a lot in the culture. Especially even now, there's still a lot of people our age that are trying to look like their favorite rapper.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't really stopped.
Yeah, the kids gonna do what they do. All of them look like, and guess what?
It ain't kids.
My take on it, it's actually beautiful. It's all beautiful. The whole journey. All the kids gotta look like each other. It's beautiful. I am thrilled.
I'm talking about there ain't, some of these guys ain't kids.
That's what I'm saying. They're our age.
I'm not trying to look like my favorite rapper from back in '94. I'm fucking 46. You know what I mean? I'm trying to act like somebody younger than me. I'm 46. I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing if you're 14, 15, 16, and you get into rap because of a particular artist and you try to mimic them. That's cool because you have something to fall off of. You know what I'm saying? But then you become a man, right? You become a woman. You got to find your identity at that point. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your identity at that point. And sometimes it takes time, and I get it. But when you're like 35, 45, come on, B. Like, grow the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Because
you going through.
Because it's like when you're 35, 45, you should know the type of man and the type of woman that you want to be in anything in life. So, like Brother Divine is saying, some of these people are our age. You know what I'm saying? Like, like let's be honest. In a circle full of hip hop heads, all right, there's different types of hip hop heads. There's the old school pioneer hip hop heads. I'm not saying they're pioneers, but they're of the pioneers age. They're like in the upper 50s, 60s, right? Then you got we would be considered unks, I guess. These young dudes call you unks. I don't give a shit about that. It's just stupid to me. But like, they call you unks. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm just a grown ass man. Don't call me uncle. I ain't your uncle. I got one nephew. You know what I'm saying? He gets on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? So we got them. They call us. We're old. We're old to them. We're old to those kids that are like 20. You know what I'm saying? When 30-year-olds say I'm old, I'm like, yeah, you'll be there soon. Shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like 20, you know what I'm saying? They consider you old, right? We're grown. These are ages, right? Well, you should already know who you are. You should have been through that shit 10 years prior or even 15 years prior, right? You could be inspired by many different artists, right? And you could still be inspired by artists. You could be inspired by younger artists. Like that Coast Contra dudes, those dudes inspired the shit out of me a lot when I hear them, right? But I don't want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because
they're their own people.
Yeah, they're their own people. And African Man Born was doing that shit 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what ends up happening is, like, you got a lot of dudes that's trying to get, because there's a difference between being a cultural artist and a person just being a rapper, right? Some dope artists are actually just rappers. They're not culture at all. Some of them are not culture at all. Some of them don't care about it. They just here to make music, make money, and do their thing. Okay, that's their business. This is where Caps One drawed the thing where he said hip hop and caps. Then he had the capital H's in the hip hop. Then you know what I'm saying? He drew that out, and then he explained why he drew it out like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was pretty much saying the higher level to the lower level of existence of hip hop. Oh, that cat ain't doing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, I thought it was a cat. So when you're talking about these levels, right? When you get to a grown status, like we get to 40, right? And we all pass that stage, right? Ain't nobody trying to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying I'll be goddamn if I'm trying to be like fucking NBA Youngboy. No disrespect to NBA Youngboy. I ain't trying to be like NBA Youngboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what's funny?
Man, if you're 40-something trying to be like NBA Youngboy, that's sad.
This dude's my age.
That's called a crisis. That's called a middle-aged crisis.
There's dudes my age that want to rap like NBA Youngboy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of and if like for me, it's like have your own identity, have your own style, have your own purpose. You got to know your purpose when you're a grown MC or a grown DJ. Or I don't care if you start. I just started DJing. You know what I mean? Because of the Living Live. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to be like DJ Premier. You know, I ain't trying to be. No, I'm trying to figure out how to spin these records. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, you know what I mean? But like that's, you know, it's just like when you talk about style earlier. You figure that stuff out when you're you know, you figure it out. You figure it out at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? It's when you start to try to be like everybody else, that's when it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? Like you want to be like friggin', like you said, NBA Youngboy, and some of the older women trying to be like friggin' Nicki Minaj and shit like that, and you know, Nicki Minaj in her 40s, by the way. You know what I mean? So no, like, you know, you got to find your identity in your journey.
The thing is, culture for real, that will come to you gradually. It's like at a certain age, you should find your identity already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're still looking for it, maybe that's your identity. Looking for an identity. That's an identity for you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for it, then I don't know what the hell you look where you lost it at.
looking for an identity. That's what you are.
You looking at for that shit for like 18 years.
Hey, how you doing? I am looking for an identity.
Mm-hmm. And what you got? You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, I'm looking for an identity. What you got, man? Spit something. Man, you gotta get out my face.
And then again, people, one thing you also gotta understand that people do have an identity. They just don't know it, which one it is.
Everybody has an identity.
So they're not doing knowledge yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they don't know their identity, but they have
knowledge on someone else.
Right.
Not knowledge yourself.
But somebody, yes. Knowledge of elves.
No knowledge. Knowledge of elves.
Knowledge of elves.
What'd you say?
He said knowledge of elves.
Knowledge of elves. How many?
You gotta stop yourself before you know anything else around you.
Yeah, that's funny.
I think what I think once you to your point, once you know yourself and know your abilities, you know yourself, you know what I'm saying? To know yourself is to also believe in yourself too. Make sure you believe in yourself and make sure you believe it. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not you're not really gonna convince anybody else to like believe in you or take you serious. If you don't see it yourself, you gotta see yourself as a higher self. Nobody else is. Not that that's always some I've always struggled with, but I don't know, I guess I'm getting better.
But do you know, for the most part, when you know, sometimes you don't, like, a belief is like, what's belief when you know and you're sure of what you know? I have to believe I know it for a fact. Like, this is a hand with 5 fingers. I know that. That's why it's beyond just believing. If somebody tell me otherwise, I'd be like, man, listen, I know for a fact because I saw it. The thing is, when you believe in things that you never bear witness to, that's the problem people have. You're going to believe in yourself as something you never nurtured. Oh, you dope. But you don't even know how dope you are. You don't get a chance to reflect and look at your shit like, I'm dope. You don't get a chance to do none of that. But you got to believe that you're dope and you got to say it with conviction. But you never took the time to sit back and actually reflect on how dope you are. But you got to convince somebody else that you're dope. You're gonna have a problem with that. Because, you know what I mean? Even your eyes are shifting when you say it, because you're not sure yourself. Like, shit, am I that dope? Am I as dope as I'm talking that I am? Those are the things. I always emphasize what you know, what you feel, what you think, and what you believe are 4 different things. And knowing, having knowledge, once you got that, you think based on what you know. You believe in what you know. You believe what you know. You believe in what you know. You know what I mean? The feeling, whatever you feel, if you know what makes you feel the way you feel, then you don't really have a problem. It's like people feel a certain way, they don't know why. I can express. I don't know. I just feel. I just feel like, if people be like, I don't know. I just feel like, that's how you start your argument. So you don't know. I don't know. I just feel.
That's called emotion.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if you do it with the proper emotion intelligence, you will know what makes you feel the way you feel. You can identify your emotions, where they're coming from.
You know what I always do when we talk about emotional stuff like that? Mm-hmm. I always refer to Enter the Dragon in the beginning of the movie. When Bruce Lee was training his I guess it was a student, and the dude threw a kick and he said, "What is that?" Saying the exhibition is emotional. You need emotional content, right?
Mm.
Then the kid kicked with anger, and he said, I said emotional content, not anger. You know what I'm saying? So then he freaking had to understand the difference. You know what I'm saying? You apply your emotions to things without emotional instability. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And with the things that we know about ourselves, most of it is emotional control. Most things. It's just like when you go through something, like for instance, somebody deceasing in your family. That's the biggest test of emotional control. You know what I mean? Because now, as an artist, right? For an artist, honestly, I think it's for the artist, the type of artist that we are, I think it's easier. But for an artist that suck, you know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
instead of trash.
good. Because if an artist suck, they don't know how to put shit together. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna make or break them as artists. You know what I
He
mean?
had to believe in himself.
Yeah.
Not
But
even
you know,
fact.
yeah, like, but like, if an artist is trash, they're not gonna be able to convey a message the way, like the way Nas broke down his how he dealt with the death of his mother is in comparison to somebody else. Nas did a song called Dance,
Yeah.
right? The fucked up thing is I can't listen to that song no more because of my situation, right?
Mm.
That means that he he conveyed such a message that even somebody who just lost his mother can't listen to it. Not because it's up, because it
Because
hit home a certain way.
it,
You know
it,
what I'm saying? But
so
when he put it out, I was like, yo, this song is dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like you get an artist that you know, and what I mean suck is that artists that choose not to grow like based on their craft. Like that's what I think sucks. If you're artist and you happen not to be the best at what you do and you just keep it that way, you know what I'm saying? You don't grow, you suck to me. Like you suck. You know what I mean? So, but
no, truthfully, not even an artist. Because
yeah,
the thing is, a lot of like a true artist want to develop his craft.
yeah,
Actually, a lot of these artists that suck because they don't want to develop the craft. They want to get the credit that the actual artist is getting. You want to be viewed as one of the greatest, but you don't even care about being great. Just want to be perceived as the greatest. You want the props, but you don't want to do the work.
yeah. I can't,
You know what I mean? That's why, that's why they're trash.
hmm
It's coming in already. Like if they have to give them a pass, like, okay, you know what? You the greatest rapper out there. Hands down. That's just the title. You got it. You good. Oh, they're not gonna write a rhyme. You seen a lot of these rappers, right? Like this, they're so famous, but I don't know what's the last time I seen them actually put out a song. But they're famous, they're popular, all over social media. Always
hmm
going on, whether it's drama, whether it's business, whatever. But I'd be like, he was a rapper, right? I never seen him rap. They got a lot of these new rappers that's popping, but I don't know which one is their songs. I don't know. I just know that he's a rapper. I don't know which one is a song. But they're not known for rapping. They're known for just having a name out there and everything else. But
Age of social media.
hmm?
The age of social media.
Yeah,
All you need is the trend and have a following.
this is gonna go down in history as one of the critical moments of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I am not. I am not at ease with it. Shit scares me.
I mean, it's just trash.
But
Dumpster.
no, the acceptance of trash material today is at all-time high.
Dump.
It's cool to be trash, like
Yep.
Well, if your mind is trash, you're going to accept trash.
yeah. Mm.
I mean, it's just like if you live in a filthy house, you can go in a filthy house and be comfortable in its surroundings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like me, I never was that guy. Like, nope, better clean this shit up.
But if somebody actually did put in place to kind of like convince you that this is, this is filthy, but they got something convincing you this is clean. But no, it's clean. Take it or leave it. It's clean. Or we're about to have your career go left if you don't accept this as clean, as dirty as it is.
Dirty as it.
So it's like, because I be watching like even like the comment section of things. You see like what people be posting, you be like, people actually thinking. Then you're gonna see a couple motherfuckers out there just agreeing and rocking with them. Like I'll be like, oh, so they got a following of dummies that comes with it. So that's why they're comfortable where they at. Like,
well, goes back to what he said. He said, it's the age of the internet. That internet will get you. The internet have you looking fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And you won't see a problem with it.
Yeah, especially with this old thing, how the videos come one after the next. Find yourself scrolling, get caught there for a few hours.
Internet have you looking goofy as shit. You be sitting there, you wake up saying goofy shit and be serious about it.
You wake up doing you wake up doing stupid shit. It's like this is life now. Like everybody feel like they have to pull cameras out and film everything. You gotta feel like what do you like? Even like traumatic situations, the first thing you do is pull out the camera.
I mean, it goes back into and I know hip hop. Some people they do this shit in hip hop, but it goes back into when certain people that are icons that die, how they celebrate the shit. I don't have to like you, but I definitely ain't got to celebrate you dying. That's not cool. Then that's actually goes against spiritual principle. Right?
Then they wonder why they get stepped to.
Exactly. Like you think about it. One of the biggest things I watched the classic movie Malcolm X. I watched that earlier. And shout out to Denzel Washington and Spike Lee and Angela Bassett. This movie was one of the dopest movies for the time that it came out. Right? The part when Kennedy got killed. Apparently, Brother Malcolm spoke when he was told not to speak against Kennedy. And there's a scene where he spoke against Kennedy publicly, and then he was addressed by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad himself, and he said, I told all the ministers not to speak against this man because the nation loved this man, right?
Or speak on it, yeah. He wasn't supposed to speak about it.
Now, there's a reason why he said that, because now you're living in a world of Jim Crow. You're fighting for civil rights, and then what's end up happening is you're speaking on something that people are on an emotional high right now. Just if their president got killed, and now you're speaking on something. I understand it. Why that took place. That situation took place as far as why he silenced him. Right. I understood why, because he was talking about the safety of Muslims at that time, Black Muslims at the time. So everybody has a right to say whatever the hell they want. I get it. Everybody has a right to say whatever they want, but your mind and your spirit will tell you if it's right to say at that time. So, which means I can say whatever I want. Be like, yo, man, when these rappers get killed, like these young rappers, a lot of them get killed. A lot of these young dudes get killed. And because I don't like them, I can sit there and say, yo, man, it sucked, da 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 da. You know, he deserved it. I've seen people say,
That's lack of empathy.
oh, he deserved to die because he sucked anyway. So you're mad at this kid because he sucks in music. You know,
you don't like his music,
but
so
you don't
deserve to die.
Yeah, you don't. Yo, I've heard this shit. Like when PM, what's his name? What's his dude? Rock. PMG Rock. What's his name?
PNB.
PNP Rock, I think his name.
Yeah, when he got killed, I've seen comments because everybody's brave on the internet. That's the problem. Like
another thing.
Everybody's brave on the internet when they're not on Front Street. I come from an era where if you talk shit, I fucking take the key to your house and beat you up. That's where I come from. You know what I mean? Like I think we were talking about this earlier before the podcast started. Like where people would have beef and take the bus and all the other stuff, and like I'm from that era.
Bus all the way to the crib.
I'll take the bus. I have beef in Mattapan. I lived in Roxbury. I'll take the 28 all the way to Mattapan for some beef. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. F around and find out. That's what the era I come from. You don't. You don't go.
See what's on.
You don't go and say something about PNG Rock or whatever. I hope I'm not messing up his name to his family. But
PNB.
Is it PNB?
PNB. Oh,
PNB Rock.
Yeah, it's something like that.
My apologies to his family that's watching this if they're watching. Right.
I didn't know till he died. So.
Huh?
I didn't know till he passed on. I didn't know him till
he passed on. But the thing is, there was people talking shit, talking about his music sucked and, good riddance and shit. And I'm like, yo, like, that's a kid.
Right.
At the end of the day,
that's a person.
That's a person's life. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Juice WRLD died. You know what I mean? Negative comments were on his shit.
Yes. You know what I mean? PNB Rock.
PNB Rock.
Yeah. Right? PNB Rock.
And like
rest in hip hop. Yeah. And
so when Xtacion died, those people talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Right? There's when Mo 3 died, people talking about him. King Von. My thing is, I don't care what these people did in their life when they was alive. I'm not going to sit there and celebrate any black people's death. I'm not even going to celebrate white people's death because that goes against my culture. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, and then, think about it. Some of us lost parents. So what if somebody said, F your dead mother, F your dead dad, and you want to fight them? Why are you going to fight them? You said the shit about this dude dying because his music wasn't to your liking.
Or he was a rival or something.
Yeah, I think these were just dudes on the internet, man. I don't think they were rivals at all.
I'm just saying, it's either you didn't like his music or he's a rival of yours, or it's always some. It's way beyond immature. Disrespectful, and it's definitely not hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
It's slave hip hop, or as D1 says, hypocritical hop.
It's lack of empathy, and it's like lack of empathy, and it shows a very low frequency evil mentality. It shows an evil mentality that you could be happy for someone's demise simply because, you didn't too much care for them anyway, and it's like, it's just like foul. It's foul. Like, where is your soul? Like, where is your spirit? Where is it? Like, that's a lack of spirit that you have. That you have. I mean, it's just a lack of spirit, and it's like, and again, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but even with Kevin Samuels,
yeah,
Like I was not, I you know, I ain't trying to judge nobody, but I just did not like the way sisters was like, yes, he's gone, yes, he's dead. I'm like, come on, man. Especially when that man ain't do nothing to you.
They don't even know the dude.
You don't even know that person.
You literally
Like,
just disagree with him.
yeah, it has to be something deeper. Even with, I know there are people that passed on that they didn't care for me, I didn't care for them, but I'll never be like, whoa, good riddance. Well, at least he's gone, or at least they're gone. I'm never gonna do that.
I
I'm
have
never gonna
I would
I'm
have to
never
have
gonna do that because I never really wanted to see that person demise like that.
I would have to have some serious beef with somebody to feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to have serious issues where
So
you want to see that person gone.
and that's definitely not hip hop. Like we don't mean like that's why all of this celebration of death, it's not hip hop. You know what I mean?
That means, yeah, that means you want to bring that spirit, you want to bring your demise of that spirit to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and it's like I remember them bringing you bring certain entities to you when you walk around like that. Because I do believe in not believe, but we all know there are evil spirits that we can't see.
Mm-hmm. A disembodied force.
That lurk, that sometimes lurk around, and it's like, remember how we were saying about people that drain your energy, or energy thieves, or people that come around like that,
Yes.
Energy vampires.
Mm-hmm.
energy vampires and stuff like that. That's real. That's real. And it's so foul with these low. It's like, damn, with these low frequency shit. This low frequency shit is like it's like crazy to me. Like I said, man, there was people there was people that there's people that didn't care for me and I didn't care for them. But when they passed on, I'm never gonna say it. I stopped saying bad stuff about them. I stopped saying bad stuff about them. I wasn't be like, oh, karma's a bitch. I'm not gonna say none of that. I'm not gonna say none of that, man.
Right. No,
And
it's
it's
not.
like,
It's uncalled for. See, hip hop, highly intelligent people helping other people. Hip hop is a fifth dimensional and beyond type of culture. That's where real hip hop resides, in the fifth dimension, where peace, unity, love is reality, not just fantasy. Okay, so when you on those lower vibes attract negative vibes. So when you tell someone to rest in piss, that's going to come back on you. This is what I mean by Christ consciousness is going to be the next phase of hip hop, because it has gotten to its lowest. You can't go any low than where it is now. It can only go up from there. How low? How low could you go when you're actually laughing and mocking someone who is deceased, who is murdered, regardless of what kind of person he was, the mistakes he made, like we all make? You're making fun of, you're sitting there at someone's grave site, desecrating this individual. You can't go any lower than that.
right. And if that person was a piece of shit, or if they were shady, and you go and shit on their grave, that doesn't make you any better.
It's kind of interesting because Dave Chappelle kind of predicted that. What was that skit about the gangbangers?
Yeah, and then you're right. And then what happened is, look at what gangbangers are doing.
Yeah, he predicted it.
Gangbangers are talking about taking the corpses and all that craziness and peeing on the corpses, and then they shoot. And then even if you shoot up someone's homecoming, their homecoming. If you shoot up the funeral, that's
I
like,
remember that happened back in the day at Morning Star. That was crazy.
These
like
people are funerals now, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they
Like
were doing that back.
I mean, well, they was doing it back then, but it's like they take it a step further. They want to
I
pick on the.
a step further now because
They
they're
take it
literally
further.
showing videos of, you know what I mean, of them shooting up like grave sites. I mean, not grave sites, but funerals. Like they want to finish the job. Like, what do you want him to be more dead? The fuck is wrong with
Yeah, they want to like
See,
or they yeah.
has it got to the point yet of the CB4 scene when the dude went and punched the manager in the face and gave him a black eye because he owed him money?
Yeah. He was like, I want to wake your dead. I want to, yo, have you heard, speaking of which, there's a song, called Dead, and the girl sings, and she has a beautiful voice, but she's singing the foulest shit. And it's like the song is called Dead, and the girl is like, oh, the lyrics is, you was always a piece of shit, and oh, now we gotta go make a fund me for his dead ass. And I was like, wow,
Again,
is
how low could you go?
I was like, oh man, this is a crazy song. This is a foul song. I can't remember. Is a sister. She has a that sister who sings that song has an incredible voice, but she's singing about some real foul shit.
Yo, they've been on that. You know, those what you call them, those divestors. They've been on that. It's like,
Oh yeah,
they've been on that, man.
Yeah, like oh yeah, that's a real thing. That is a real thing.
Yeah,
Like they
the
had a
celebrating.
podcast. They had like something where women was talking about these dusties need to be in a coffin and all that craziness.
Yeah, and I
Wishing black
remember.
men would die, or this woman talking about if I have a male baby, I will abort it and all that crazy shit.
Yeah, see, remember you mentioning Kevin Samuels. I had to check some relatives because they were talking greasy online. I said, what you're going to do is delete that nonsense. You ain't going to be doing that. And they're saying stuff like, these old niggas need to die out. And they're saying this to me, like, I'm like, yo, dude, you can we meet face to face? And suddenly they don't have anything to say.
You got all these nations across the globe, right? They can show you a 90-year-old, a 100-year-old. Then when it comes to us, after age 40, oh, you need to be gone. You need to die. Like only in this culture. Everywhere else, they try to push 100 out there.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not altogether the fault of the people that they're all just screwed up. These new age social justice gynocratic warriors, who hate men. These are men that hate men.
Yeah, you gotta be gotta be careful what you believe in. You know what I'm saying?
these are men that like, all you men need to die. Like,
and that's the men I say.
You know what happens? You know what happens with that? You know what happens when you say stupid shit like that?
You die.
That shit happens to you. You start saying shit like all your men need to die, and then shit starts happening in your family. Shit starts happening to your kids. Shit starts happening to your favorite uncle. It starts happening, and then
people you actually care about.
Then you want to act like, why me? Well, why'd you put some information out there? See, you ain't got the answer to me. I don't know what you think inside your stupid head, but the universe does.
It comes back on you.
It comes right back on you, and next thing you know, oh, well, why me? Because you put it out there, motherfucker. You should have shut the hell up.
You have been selected.
Yeah, you've been selected by yourself because we don't realize how much gods and goddesses we are. You know what I'm saying? We don't realize how much powerful our words are. But they don't go into they talk about they believe in the Bible, they read the wrong shit. They don't even read the shit that has to do with them.
You know what? One thing I realized, especially with a lot of women I came across, right? that deems himself to be so spiritual. They got the foulest mouth and say whatever, and they could justify what I was upset. After you just spoke about how spiritual you are, and you don't think your words got an impact. You talk about how spiritual you are, but all of a sudden your words are just words because you're upset. Just toss them around like it's not gonna burn nothing.
No accountability.
Careful.
She's gonna burn your ass. That's what I'm doing.
Burn everything around it.
No accountability.
Yeah, burn your ass. Yeah, burn your ass.
Burn your ass.
Burn your ass.
Like
one of the biggest dumb things now in news is they're talking about how Doechii is lesbian, right? And my thing is, they must have thought we needed to know that because we knew that already. We knew that already. That's a dumb. That's the dumbest thing to waste internet space on. Who cares?
What are they talking about?
Doechii.
Okay.
I knew she was a lesbian when she said like 2 years ago that straight men are a red flag. I knew that already.
Yeah, she said they would give her the ick or some stuff like that.
Now
that's cold.
Now my thing is, we don't need to know that. We know she's gay. Okay, let her be gay.
I think she probably experiences and just one of those try different kind of person. But as an artist, I think she's super dope.
She's a dope MC, I mean, she could spit. But
yeah,
we just didn't need that information.
Yeah, we didn't need that information.
Yeah, like that goes with a lot of these rappers that people now is bringing all these stories and allegations from the past, whatever. Like a lot of them be like, yo, I can do without all that. Like,
right?
They're bringing up stories of people that already passed on like decades ago.
Right. Listen,
like
she got a liquor license. It is what it is.
I'd be like, yo, if he was still alive, he would have told me that story. Why are you telling me?
Oh shit!
Why you feel the need to tell me the stories?
She has a right to have a liquor license.
Hey,
yeah,
but
that's every right.
She has the right to do whatever it is that she do.
Because without that license, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't get certain service to certain places.
Well, the thing is this is her life and her business. Like when
yeah. Like, why do I have to entertain that? Because I'm dealing with this. Like I got the music. I see what I see, and I think that's dope. Can I do without that?
Yeah. Can we just focus on that?
Yeah. Like can I do it? I feel like that about a lot of artists. Like I don't want to hear all that. Like. They didn't talk about it. Why are you talking about it?
And did we mention that blah blah blah? You're like, yo, seriously? Like, why does and in the grand scheme of things, she's a talented sister. Like, why does who she sleep with really matter in the long run?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like who cares in real life? Who really cares?
And they just put it out.
Because honestly, you know why they do that? Because it generates support from a certain demographic. So it helps. It probably helps her albums to sell. That's an industry move.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that's an industry move.
Because the industry is so. It's like now it's gotten so perverted now.
Right. It's the industry.
They're running out of ideas. That's what they do.
Because there's no industry anymore. It's becoming extinct.
Hell yeah.
It's going back to grassroots.
Now it's going to the
one thing I can say that's one thing I can say that's working for her is that she got bars. So she'll last a little long. She'll last for a little bit because she got bars. Because we're in an age where you have to actually know how to rap. If you don't know how to rap, I think we was talking about this earlier too. If you don't know how to rap, your shit is going to be non-existent. If you're an MC or if you're a rapper and you ain't got no rap skills, you're not gonna make it for very far.
And then you actually suck.
Yeah,
because now you actually have to be an MC, not just a rapper.
you know,
you gotta be a great artist now. You have to be an artist of substance. There's only so long that the plants are gonna last. If you notice, what's the girl that kind of looked like the Wendy's logo? That was her name. Ice Spice.
Oh yeah, Ice Spice.
Yes.
You notice you don't hear from her no more.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
saw
haven't
a
heard
documentary about her. I'm trying to remember
I think
how
the
long
only
ago that was.
still probably out of that old what you call it, that old promotion. That old class, I think it's only Glorilla that still like survives that. Everybody else is kind of maybe they're there. They're just second, second, third, fourth place.
I know Meg got an anime coming out. That's the last I heard from her.
Who?
Meg the Stallion.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
So that's the last I heard from her. I seen a documentary on Ice Spice. Some of the nonsense she was going through. The last thing from her was she was at some SpongeBob movie thing with a bunch of kids wearing a very revealing dress.
Huh?
You didn't hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay.
She was at some SpongeBob
She's
promotional
like that.
event, and she had on this very, very. I can't remember if it was tight or short, and there was a lot of controversy. Like, why is she wearing that when there's a bunch of children around?
I think I over. Oh yeah. I think I over heard or seen something like that.
Yeah, that was the last time I heard anything from her.
I wonder if we're gonna hear about these people's music.
That's what I miss. So it's like
you gonna hear about these people's music
because it's all about image now.
Well, it always has been. It always has been about image. It always has been about perception and it's always been about that from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Even when shout out to my boy Big Steph, man.
Shout out to Big Steph.
Can't remember
Ice Bears.
I can't remember Ice Bears forever, baby. Yeah, but it's like I can't remember an artist. There's like an artist he was writing for, and she happened to be a very attractive white woman. Happened to be very attractive, and I guess they was really trying to find a female Eminem. Because everybody does this, everybody does this. The industry always does this to try to cash in because it's all about the revenue, really. It's all about the commerce within the art, And so they were trying to find a female that could rap like Eminem. And Ruben was and Sev was writing for her. I can't remember her name. But that right there is the perfect example of the image. I mean, she's attractive and she can spit, and she was gonna blow. Now, from what I understand, she didn't feel right about doing it. She ended up not doing it because she didn't feel right because she didn't feel like it was her. And I don't know. I don't know if she was actually a rapper. I don't know if she was a rapper and then she just was like, yo, this isn't me. I can't do this. But the people behind her, and what could they do if she you know, it is a lot of people that'll just go through it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, but like this image stuff, a lot of this, it's always been about image. It's never been about the true talent. And it's like it's never been about the true talent. You look at people, you look at people like you look at people and you just was like Al Pacino said this. You know, I found it very interesting. Al Pacino said, you know, passion will always beat talent, will always trump talent. And like that, I found that like an interesting quote from Al Pacino. You look at people who have the talent, but no passion.
Yeah, Tupac's a good example of that.
You know, people should like, yo, why ain't you rocking? Why don't you take it? Why don't you take this? How many people that we know that should be rocking and they're like, yeah, you can have it.
That example makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac is an example of that.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yeah.
Because his energy was he had the energy.
Yeah.
He had the energy.
You know what I think though?
I don't know, you're thinking it.
We can accept you know, the old image side of things as all different, like let's say it's all different division of the genre. These people are out here, they're not here to rap. They're here to display images.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we look at them like that, we won't have a problem. Well, that's what you do. We over here, we do music. We do bars over here. Over there, they do image. We can accept it as such. And that's good. The only problem is when they try to pick one of those people and want to put them over here with the rest of us. And they call it best. But they're not doing what we're doing. We have a problem with that. But yo, if they can stand on their lane, like, okay, what you do is front for the camera. Do that. Let me rap while you front for the camera.
Executed standing, crouching, or jumping. A super jump allows
You know what, Sadi? That's pretty much what they're doing already. Because they don't really rap like that. They rap for like 3 seconds.
They call themselves rappers though, and they want to compare themselves to the people that really get busy. That's the problem.
Who they? But see, okay, honestly, is there anyone they can compare themselves to these days?
Oh, they want the spots. Like, call yourself, oh, I'm the greatest.
It was easy to call yourself the greatest when there's nobody to compete with. They all kind of sound the same.
Well, they will go against us, cause somebody washed out. They're not calling about the old-time image displayers.
Yeah.
They're going at the people that used to rap their ass off.
Mm.
Nah, the thing is, okay, if you know you're great at what you do, all right, compete with Flavor Flav. Just being out there, compete with him.
No, that's a good point. I think a lot of the rappers today are hype men. They just hype men without actual MCs to hype.
Basically, they hype men for the producer. Because the real artist is the dude making the music. The person making the beats. That's like
the producer. So that's it's kind of going back to tradition. MC and DJ.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's not even the MC and the DJ. It's more like, it's more like
well, that's why I said kind of.
In this more primitive time before the she was really putting down the rhymes and all that. So he's just a hype man. So it's more like you got to know how to, while the DJ play while your producer or the DJ plays the music, you need to know how to, display image. Get out there, look fly, turn up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Get that vibe. You know what I mean? You're a vibe artist, not a rap artist, a vibe artist. You see, if I look at it like that, I can actually respect it. You're a vibe artist, not a rap artist. You're a vibe artist.
Makes sense.
You don't know how, you're not crazy with the words, but you know how to shoot your guns on camera. Like do one of these. You know how to throw your fingers.
Or
you know,
an image artist.
Yeah, if you're good at that, that's what you do, not a rapper.
But that's why they call themselves rock stars and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't even call themselves. They don't even want to call themselves MCs.
Mm.
Yeah, call themselves the MC. They know they're gonna get challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You call yourself an MC? There's somebody gonna challenge.
Most people immediately associate the console with dumb stuff.
Yeah, I know some young boys who said that to me. They said I'm not an MC because I don't really freestyle and do metaphors and all that. I just rhyme. And I'm like,
stars increase attack speed and briefly grant
I
invincibility.
think
Continues are unlimited. And while not hard, the game can be surprisingly
I can respect if they're honest with themselves.
mm-hmm.
No,
it's respectable.
Yeah, but don't come out. Don't come out and say, "Oh, I'm the MC. I'm better than every MC," and then you start freaking like you acting a fool right now.
And controls are smooth. Replay value is both
MC
the greatest MC in the world.
Yeah, anytime you say you're an MC, somebody gonna challenge your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't even have to battle you. They'll challenge you. They'll be like, "Oh, you nice? Spit some shit right now."
Yeah, let me. You know how many people I used to do that to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you ain't got no verse in your head. You fuck.
Let me hear Steve. Like, nah, chill, not right now. Be like, what? Because I remember my days of this is back. I would say like early 2000s when I was at a point where I felt like Boston, we next.
The story follows
off the top of the dome. I remember it used to be like, because now I wrote a lot. I just spit pieces now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then I had written too, so it was more like if anybody had to approach me, be like, "Oh, Sanya, hell, you be rapping?" I'd be like, "Yo, let me hear something." I'd be like, "Yo," just like it won't take not even like I would say a second and a half is probably the most before I go in. If you let me hear something, oh right, that's my next word. I like my rhyming. I ain't gotta like. I'm going right in. Then I got people be like, "Yo, let me hear something." They be like, "Nah, chill, yo." I'll be like, "Nah, I mean, I got something, yeah." Like, oh, you talking too much now. You said, "Oh, let me hear something." You kept talking.
Mm-hmm.
You could have run. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I became so spontaneous with it. Then it became to a point now I select what I say. I wrote so many dope rhymes, but sometimes the topics are just off. I can't put that in the song. Like, nah, I'm not gonna put that.
That's what you use for the freestyles when you go on the radio.
Yeah, even on the radio, that's why I don't freestyle a lot, because a lot of the shit that I said bullshit. I don't want to be. It's gonna be on record.
Well,
I said that. Ooh, nah.
A freestyle ain't supposed to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they can't. You know what I mean?
Like for example, I got what I said. What I said like that the other day. I'll say I said some shit like I used to have something. I used to have a side chick. I used to have a fly chick for a side chick. Once she stole, like what she say, be like once she stole the keys to my Suzuki side chick. That's how I find out she can drive stick. And man called my text on the sidekick. she apologized. Say she, she tripped and fell. She tripped, fell, and landed on my dick. You know what I mean? So,
How vulgar?
I'm on camera. I'm on live and shit. Oh, but this is me doing that for fun.
That's a freestyle bar.
Yeah, but I don't want to then somebody gonna highlight that and that only.
I mean, yeah, that's the risk you take when you rap that shit.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, so those are the rhymes. It sounds dope, but what I said, I don't want to be saying.
Your brother Saadi's supposed to be conscious. You can't be saying stuff like that.
Right.
You nasty bastard.
Yeah. like, yeah. Yeah, it becomes that. Like,
you dirty bastard.
I be like, oh shit.
You old dirty bastard. Yeah. Not the old dirty bastard.
Son of a bitch.
He called you Russell Jones.
That's the son of a bitch.
You dirty son of a.
Fuck Saudi. You're like, hold on. Calm down. That's a bar.
Big brother Saudi is a phony.
Yeah.
He's a fraud.
Y'all here talking about fly chicks and shit. And it's supposed to be conscious.
Talking about the arm and the leg, and the leg and the arm and the head.
And it's supposed to be conscious and be like, okay, of course, yeah, I'm awake. They be like, see, you say awake, it's supposed to be woke.
He ain't woke.
He ain't woke. That nigga asleep. Be like, shit, ain't no nigga. Yeah. That's the African brother. You gotta make your fist, make it look like the African fist, like this.
That nigga ain't woke, he knocked out.
He knocked out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yo, it's like, so as far as the practice of these joints, you know what I mean? The age is going up there. One thing about practicing his rhymes, keep your mind sharp. You know, these things are rituals, our everyday life would do, man. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I go around and I wrote, actually, this year, I wrote some solid rhymes. That's probably going to go in my new routines now. I'm about to add some 32 bars in my routines. It's going to be dope. So let me see which one
that joint's gonna be whack, man. What you talking about?
Now check this out. Peace to Seven, who walks the earth and seeks the heavens. He's definitely destined to leave a testament as a masterpiece of evidence. Greet his brethren with peace and blessing and teach those lessons that keep them questioning the preacher's reverence. He's heaven sent for the election of king and the ordination of generals that leads the regiment. 5 loaves of bread completes the regiment. For sweet the specimen of choices from the 5 loaves of bread completes the regiment. For sweet the specimen of choices by the 100 triplets impeach the president. He in death as he speaks in reference of what he know and what he had witnessed from being present, he have left them the words. They felt to heat the message as he expressed to Nicodemus in John 3:11. He's the essence. He in the flesh to complete the lessons. Learn the least and never feast of bread, the yeast that's leavened. Learn the least. No, he's the essence. He's the essence. He in the flesh to complete the lessons. Learn the least and never feast of bread, the yeast that's leavened. The swine is unclean, should be the least of preference. Never blind to the unseen, look to the east for reference. I like that rhyme.
You just wrote that?
Nah, I've just completed that.
Oh.
I wrote probably like 4 bars. Yeah, I had like how many I had?
Well, I wasn't counting the bars, but
I was about to say, you thought you were gonna count while you rhyming?
yeah.
I had 10. I just wrote the 6 that completed it. It took me a while to keep that in the scheme all the way through. Now, this is what I wrote this year from top to bottom. I wrote an arm and a leg when I'm in the flesh, another leg and an arm and the head. That's when I'm in the essence. My wings vantage. I'm in the army of veterans. As I am above, so below. Behold my omnipresence. Their repentant city is seen the Nazareth. Receive inspiration from breathing everlasting breath. I'm the truth. My word is born. Either take heed or take it as a threat. I'm a light. I'm the life. Resurrection of Nazareth. Oh, I'm the life. Resurrection of Lazarus. Master this. Walk on water. Then walk through the fires of hell and back as hazardous. Calm the storm. Could have gotten disastrous. Y'all need to chill. Speaking ill of the God. How blasphemous. King of kings. Reign supreme mathematics. Read the actual fact that I am him. In fact, practicing profound black craft, which is that profound black craft, which is that bounce back magic, treated like a renounced bad habit to bounce back at it. That's another rhyme. What
Never
I
see things, man. Dope.
I see you trying to be the headliner of a podcast.
No.
I'm only messing with you, man.
Not at all. I just try to. Maybe it's the time. It's almost 11, so I try to recite.
Okay.
I said. What did I say? This one I had to read it somewhere. Let me see. You see how, like, the new rhymes, I try to remember it without reading it off paper. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the mind sharp and all, you know. But yeah, that's what's up.
All right, dope. Can't wait to hear it live on stage.
Oh yeah, I'm actually
Roxanne Shante style, live on stage.
It looks like this Rhode Island joint is not going on. Yeah, Supreme can get back to me after a while.
Let's talk about that off the recording though.
Yeah, so I'll probably use that day to go in the studio and start crafting some things.
That idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that time for studio time.
So what projects do we got coming out, y'all? For those that are listening. By the way, for those that are out there listening, thank you for checking out the Beyonderz Buildin podcast, hanging out with the hip hop Beyonderz movement and the Beyonderz hip hop fam. Shout out to the house of the Beyonderz. Thank you for listening. We got any projects coming up, y'all?
Got too many.
Not too many.
They got too many projects coming up.
Of course, that's that's mainly who I'm talking to.
Many.
So February 1st already happened. I dropped the This Is Hip Hop mixtape volume 2, Too Much Boom Bap. I called it that for those who know. Too Much Boom Bap represents the foolish ideologies around the Premier and Nas album, where a lot of people, and I say that openly, so I say that because I don't think people really understood what they were doing because they wasn't there. I was there in the hip boom bap era. I appreciate the boom bap era. It's the foundation of rap music. So I dedicated that mixtape to boom bap hip hop, which is real hip hop in the sense of real hip hop music, foundational hip hop music. You see how we have foundational Black Americans, foundation hip hop music is boom bap. You know what I'm saying? So That mixtape is dedicated to that. I used all industry instrumentals except for one track that was created by Genius. All the songs, Uptown Anthem, I call it Beantown Anthem. I used several beats from Lightspeed, which was Nas and Premier's album. I did God State of Mind Part 3 over the New York State of Mind Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 2 prior. I did God State of Mind Part 1 in 2012, God State of Mind Part 2 in 2015, and now in 2026 I did God State of Mind Part 3. So that mixtape is already out. It's free on AfricanManborn.com. I got
free, everybody. That's free mixtape.
Yeah. So don't say you can't afford it. I say it at the shows all the time. Don't say you can't afford it. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? So, I'm dropping a single with Sandro Castro called The Resurrectors. That's coming out the end of this month. The Resurrectors. Me and Sandro Castro are doing an EP together. So we'll let you know when that's actually going to be. That's going to be the first collab album that I do, and then I'm not releasing it on my company. I'm letting somebody else release it. So we'll let you know the title of the name and all that stuff. Is me and Sandro Castro doing our thing. The KING Part 2, Royalty Forever. For those who know my discography, I put out the KING Part 1 in 2022. That has Purpose of Hip Hop, Challenge, the KING, songs like that. That came out in 2022. This one, the Part 2, is coming out May 23rd, which is my birthday. That's coming out on AfricanManborn.com. Plus the mix, not the mixtape, the comic book, Dr. A and B comic book. All right, that's this image right here that you see. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So as you see, it look like me. You know what I'm saying? AI generated, but it's a comic book. All the subject matters I pretty much orchestrated for the comic book. 23 pages. First comic book that's coming out the same day as the album. I'll let you know if there's a release party or something going on, because there's a lot going on that weekend, especially that my birthday is on a Saturday and the release of the album is on a Saturday and the release of the comic book is on a Saturday. So with that being said, that's coming out. After that, so like I said, it's a lot. August 11th, I'm dropping my second album release of the year, right? And that's going to be called The OG. The song that is going to be for that comic book is on that album, because I that song, Dr. A and B. And the title is called Dr. A and B. If you go on Facebook right now, you can see the song on my profile. You can listen to it. It's about a 5 minutes and 23 seconds of a song. It's called Dr. A and B, and it's for the actual comic book that's coming out. All right.
Ooh.
The second comic book for that series is coming out the same day, August 11th. All right. Then at the end of the year, November 12th, right? You notice these are specific dates. November 12th, I'm dropping my third album, not mixtape, album of the year, which is titled Black Boston. You know what I mean? I'm still putting together Black Boston, but it's pretty much 94% done. Different producers this time. On the KING Part 2, Genius produced all the beats. On the OG, I produced all the beats. On Black Boston, it's a series of producers. There's Ed OG has 2 joints. Genius has 4 to 5 joints, and then I have about 5 joints so far. And then Buzz from Bread Bricks, which is Sanjo's producer, he has a joint on there. Then I might have put a couple more joints, but they're gonna be from a couple different producers. I wanted to make that album kind of more of like a, with more producers, just to get to that feel of just doing multiple productions on different albums. So on the same album, I mean. So that's coming out November 12th. So like I said, there's a lot coming out. Maybe part 3 of the comic book will come out the same day. That's what I'm aiming for. And then if there's any tours or any shows, I will let you know. Living Room Live episode 2. That's February 28th. We got Pearl Handle coming in. So I mean, it's a lot. And with the subject matter that we're talking about is women of hip hop. I want to get into her head about what she thinks about women in hip hop and her story as well. I think, Brother Divine, I think you're going to be in co-hosting too. I think. I don't think I mentioned that. So
yeah, you did. Yeah,
I did. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with me in the Beyonders. You know what I'm saying? I know that was a lot from one Beyonder.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to other Beyonders, see what they got to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? I know Osai Moore. She got an album that she's working on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that. So I don't. Keep checking it out. AfricanManBorn.com for my material. Also, continue to check out the podcast, Living Room Live podcast. You know what I mean? Every last Saturday of the month, unless I'm traveling or performing. All right. And that's from 6:30 to 8:30 mainly. Sometimes we go over because we can do that. And then the Beyonderz Building. You know what I mean? We're actually live. So it's doing pretty. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. 6 likes so far.
7.
Yeah. So this is our first time taking the podcast live. So shout out to all the 7 people. You know what I'm saying? Keep liking, sharing, subscribe. You know what I mean? You can check out my podcast. I got several podcasts, but I got the main ones is Random Thoughts, where I do 5 to 10 minutes of random thought. It's just me talking shit for 10 minutes. Just letting y'all know. And sometimes it's serious and sometimes it's not. Most of the times it's not because, I'm just bred to talk shit. Then there's The Culture Speaks. I'm putting back out probably around March. And The Culture Speaks is pretty much a hip hop educational podcast, strictly about culture, history, and tying it into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That right there, that's I pre-record that and then I put it out. You know what I'm saying? If I do a live part of it, it's definitely gonna be educational. Everything is educational about The Culture Speaks. And it's always about culture and hip hop. Hip hop is culture, but what I usually do is tie any culture that I'm talking about to it. So I might get into martial arts culture and then bring in like something like the Wu-Tang and how they incorporate it into hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? And talk about certain things. Everything has to be tied into culture because we want people to understand how culture really is similar and connective. Like we can connect all cultures to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that's that I'm probably gonna do that in March, and I don't know what days I'm gonna broadcast. I'm probably gonna pre-record them and then put them out at certain days. So you'll know more about that in the future because I'm still I'm juggling between this podcast, Living Room Live, Random Thoughts. I don't juggle because I go in the car and talk my shit. You know what I mean? Or I go and come in here and talk my shit. So that's what's going on my end. I don't know what else. I don't know who else got a project out or whatever, but I know. And the GIO is still out. God is omnipresent.
God is omnipresent.
You know,
Omnipotent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, God is omnipresent. Keep checking that out. It's pretty much my favorite release to date.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check that out, AfricanManBorn.com.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, just shout out to the Triverse. If you're into anime, comic books, fitness, and table gaming, you know, check out my podcast with my two brothers. Shout out to E-Man, Galactic Protein. Released every Tuesday on Apple Music and Spotify. You also check out our Discord. We do anime and discussion every Friday from 7 to 10. And also check us out and discussion and all that on the Triverse Discord. And that's about it. We're on our 8th season, going into our 9th. So
I wanna give a shout out to Thurston Howell for acknowledging ROPC and bigging us up, and so salute to him for acknowledging ROPC for what the community work they do. Not just that, it's deeper than just wearing polo. So I want to definitely big up ROPC, RLs to the world. Eagles fly high. So I definitely want to give a big respect to Thurston Howell for acknowledging us and stuff like that. So 2L's, my brother. Thanks for the thanks. Salute to you, salutory. I have like locations for the Beyonderz fashion photo shoot, but dates still be announced. So I'm still gonna work that out before I get up and announce and really fully announce the shoot. So everybody stay tuned for that.
yeah, we'll talk about that off air. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out for everybody for listening.
Shout out to the Beyonders.
Shout out to Beyonders. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brothers right here in this room. So I love y'all, man. Yeah.
Shout out to all the old people trying to stay awake, watching us and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in their gray hoodie.
Yep. In gray hoodies.
They're muted mics, trying to talk trash. We can't hear them.
You know, shout out to all the old people keep their eyes open, like, but you with us. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was me earlier too.
Yeah.
That's a lot of love, a lot of love.
Still love, man. When you're like got the phone by your bed, or you got the phone by your mantle, and you're like, oh, hey, what?
Yeah. Oh, it's over. Somebody get the phone.
Yo, we still recording?
Hey, man, we all old in here, man. We trying to hold it together. You know what I mean?
I'm trying, I'm trying not to like start snoring and whistling, and it's like, yeah, that's just not a good look.
And this old man been up since 6 o'clock this morning, so
yeah, man, shit.
Yeah, same here. I've been up since 5.
I'll be up. Oh God, I'll be up for no reason whatsoever. Like I ain't have to work until Tuesday. Yeah,
just be up.
You just be up looking at shit. Ain't turning on the TV, watching cartoons and shit.
Yeah, man. I finding myself doing that shit.
Tell you. Hey, listen, old people watch cartoons, kids. Matter of fact, do y'all watch cartoons? I want to know from the young people. Do y'all watch cartoons? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you right now, not really. No, they don't do that anymore.
That's why they don't smile.
I mean, my kids do, but I mean,
A lot of people watch the hardcore anime, or if they're watching SpongeBob. A lot of the new wave, a lot of the people
They watch
today seem to really like SpongeBob.
it.
I think a lot of them watching YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The greatest cartoon of all time is Tom and Jerry. Watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? Watch that shit. Watch the cat.
That wasn't even for kids, man. We just happened to be watching it.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
what it was for kids until I was like 13. I was already
There's
grown.
a lot of adult themes,
Like,
a lot of adult themes in that, and
my mom's told me like I was like 13 years old. She said, "Yeah, you know those cartoons weren't for kids like that." So you knew that, and you let me watch this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, they had a whole episode where they both killed themselves over a female.
Yeah. There was an episode where Tom killed himself with a damn piano.
yeah.
And he got to get it, and then he had to get a contract so he can go to heaven.
Yep.
Right.
Jerry.
And then the bulldog was the devil.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thomas.
Wow. Yep. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Man.
How is like, shouldn't Jerry be going to hell? Jerry's the one that did a lot of damage to him, but he did terrorize Jerry. It was both, so.
Jerry starts some more shit, but you know.
Wasn't there? It was it was part of MGM Studios, but it was an episode with the plane. You know, the plane had a wife, and suddenly they gave birth to a baby who turned out being a jet.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did y'all ever consider the fact that his wife was cheating on him? Because how was he a military airplane and she gave birth to a daggone jet?
He was definitely
considered.
She was definitely for the air streets.
Yeah, definitely for the air streets, for real.
The sky streets.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. So wait a minute, how does she give birth to a jet if he's a World War II flying plane?
She was for the sky streets. I'm telling you.
And that's why he was so mad in the episode. He was trying to get a job. They kept on rejecting him. He was doing everything. He tried to race with the Jets.
Yeah.
His son had to save him. He didn't like his son. He was like, yo, this ain't me, yo.
Well,
at the end, say that. Yo,
at the end of the cartoon, at the end of the cartoon, he became the war hero. He became the war plane.
Yeah, he ended up winning because of his son. His
son was because they had the same cartoon. They had the car where the little kid wanted to be a racing car, and he wanted to be like a regular car. So it was like the same type of people who made the jet one.
Yeah, MGM. That was MGM Studios.
Tex. I think it was. Who was the illustrator? Was it Tex Avery?
It might have been Tex Avery's racist ass.
Yep, Tex Avery was a racist. His name was Tex. Tex. That's a fucking racist name in itself. Tex.
When you had Barney Bear. That's my favorite one, Barney Bear, when he tried to when he tried to like act like he was helping the beaver. And the beaver was like talking mad. The beaver was like, yeah, they mind your own business, man.
I'll tell you right now, talk about racism, but my favorite cartoon was the racist one.
Yo, that's my favorite one. The dog in the opera.
With the rabbits and the dog in the opera.
When they would turn in like different nationalities and culture.
That shit was
the dopest one. It's racist.
That shit was hilarious. I ain't gonna front like me and my brother was on the floor when we saw that shit. Like yo, that shit that shit was fucking hilarious. Every time we watched that shit till we was grown ass men.
That's the funniest. But you know something? It ain't. They made fun of it, but it was like somewhat accurate. But they made fun of it.
No, that shit.
But the Polynesian one, they was like, I was like, what the hell? That shit cracked me up. But it was, but it was like really that language, right?
Yeah. Yeah, white people crazy, man. Crazy, man.
Yo,
They had a lot of those. I think those cartoons that you would see on Tom and Jerry, and then the Looney Tunes and Woody Woodpecker and stuff.
I'll tell you right.
Y'all know the science behind those cartoons, though, right?
I mean, I could just say this: white people, y'all racism is top tier when it comes to entertainment. Shit, that shit. I mean, that episode particular was like hilarious. Like you couldn't even get around it. Like you could be mad because it's racist, but then you just and I think that black people found humor in it the most because we just laugh at every fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that shit.
Even when he sprayed him with the black ink.
Oh man.
And then he was singing, and then he drops the envelope on him, and on everything you're showing, man.
Well, you gotta remember those cartoons, those Tom and Jerry, Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes. They were meant for the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
So during intermission or before the movie started, they would show those cartoons. They were clips.
They were shorts, really.
They were shorts. Yeah, they were like clips. They show before the movie starts or in between the movie if they had an intermission. So they were made for the movie theater.
They will show those long ass episodes as intermissions.
Yeah, before the movie starts or something. Yeah.
Oh,
like especially like Looney Tunes and Tom and MGM Studios. That's where the cartoons started. They were in the movie theaters. You know, then you would go to the movie theaters and watch these cartoons before the movie starts.
It's funny
because the cartoon's only 30 minutes.
But that's funny because I never put that one and two together that they set things up like they're in a theater.
Right. There's a famous one. I think it was Looney Tunes, but the gangsters, they were talking about robbing a bank, and the dude in the audience tried to get up and leave, and the crooks in the cartoon was like, "Yo, where you going?"
And they shot him.
Yeah, he shot him.
They pulled his gun out. Sit your ass back down.
Yo, they shot the dude was trying to get up to go to the bathroom, and they shot him. It was like, dude, we gonna bow. I was like, oh wow. Me boss, and me boss, one for you, and we boss, one for you.
Yeah, that's because they were making fun of the movie theater.
Rockets is fine for you. Yeah, see? Yo, you know the one that cracked me up too was when Donald Duck boxed Elmer Fudd.
Oh yeah, when Daffy Duck, when they were cheating.
Yeah, he was like,
those Negro ducks.
He was like, the dog was like, there's something awfully screwy about this fight. Or my name isn't Lattimore, and it isn't. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, that was a one.
And that's what we grew up on. That's what we grew up watching. Before the Force 5s and Voltrons, Robotechs and such. But we grew up watching that stuff.
Yep. Weekdays on channel 56. Yeah, those were the days.
Gentlemen. I'm sorry, gentlemen. People of the Beyonderz world, man. I'm gonna jump off. I wanna thank these brothers for having me, and thank y'all for inviting us and having us in your world. You know what I'm saying? So beyond and beyond, good people.
Beyond and beyond.
Beyond and beyond.
Yeah, man.
Beyond and beyond.
So we still recording?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna end when I press this end part here, but let's see. So if it does, peace to all the people watching on YouTube. This has been the Beyonderz Building podcast. Check us out on more episodes, man. And then check us out what we doing, man. Like, we be hitting stages, drop kicking midgets. We be doing all that. We do it all, man. We teaching,
doing all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Spitting at judges, smack up reverends.
Yep, so we do all that, man. Everything, because got to be balanced.
Slap box with angels.
So let's see.
52 blocks. 52 blocks with demons.
Yeah, so when I do it, right, it's gonna cancel. It's gonna shut down the meeting. So,
Okay.
so
Thought he gotta go to sleep anyway.
I know you look kind of you look wide awake, man. You know, so so peace to everybody that's been watching Beyonderz Buildin. You know, and
Peace.
brothers,
Peace and beyond.
DC Divine and Big Brother Sadi, who's ready to go to bed. Shout out to Big Horses for jumping on. Shout out to Hip Hop and everybody that's been watching on YouTube. We'll be back with another episode real soon. Stay tuned.
Peace.